This is Mike Gillespie for 3 News Now. Let me give you an idea of what you're looking at here. There have been reports of a shooting at Burger King. This is the location at Old Brownsville Road and SPID. And you can see there are police officers there, the crime scene tape. At this point, it would be just probably a little too early to talk about anything we're hearing other than the fact that there has been a shooting there. We don't know how many people have been involved. We don't know much more information than that, but you can see again that police have blocked that area off, and we are hearing reports that they're looking for a passenger car at this time involved in the shooting, searching the area there. We don't know that they have found anyone yet, but that's what they're doing right now. Again, this is the location over at Old Brownsville Road and SPID, and you can see we do have a crew on the scene giving you kind of a shot of the parking lot now, and that you can see that there are lots of officers, multiple CCPD officers there on the scene. We are hearing initial reports of a shooting there. As for how many people are involved, we do not have an accurate count right now or know any of the details behind that. And of course, we're hoping that as soon as Corpus Christi police officers get a handle on that situation, that they'll be able to then share that information with us. You can see lots of officers talking and gathering there. Right now, they're in the initial stages of really just trying to investigate what exactly happened here. And as you can imagine, police will have to work through that before they give us any information. And when they do, that's something that we'll pass on to you. You will see people walking in and out of the scene there. This is about as close as we can get and kind of give you an idea of what's happening there. This is live from the Burger King restaurant over at Old Brownsville Road and SPID. And we're watching right along with you in order to see what's happening there.
Mostly them putting tape, that crime scene right there. Looks like whatever took place all over the radio. So whatever, maybe it was a drive-by or something, but it happened right there. I can see there's markers right there on the thing, and they have this taped up.
Mike Gillespie here for 3 News Now. We do want to give you an idea for those who just may be joining us here of what you're looking at. We have a camera crew at the scene, and I believe right now they're talking with police and kind of being given some instruction on where they can be and what they can be showing here. And so you'll see the camera moving around a bit. This is the location. You see the Subway and the Burger King restaurant. This is a location there at Old Brownsville Road and SPID, if you are familiar at all with that. And right now our camera crew working to try to get out of the way of the Corpus Christi police officers as they bring even more tape here. And so you're wondering what is it with all the tape? We are getting reports of a shooting that happened there in that area. No confirmation yet on perhaps the number of people involved. We're also hearing reports that police are looking for, they're still searching for a suspect vehicle that may have been involved in this as well. We don't know if that has resolved itself or if that search is ongoing. Still very early in this incident and in this investigation for us to have very much concrete at all, but we did want to bring you what was happening there, especially if you are in the area or have family or friends there who may be alerted and concerned about the heavy police presence. What we know at this point is that there has been some kind of incident, some kind of shooting there at the Burger King restaurant there at SPID and Old Brownsville Road. We are waiting, along with many others, to get confirmation on the information that we're trying to gather there. We have a reporter there at the scene, or at least on the way to the scene. We do have, as you see, the camera crew there. And we're trying just to give you a picture of what's happening there so that you can have that idea and you can pass that on to others who may be concerned about that. We do hope to get updates from Corpus Christi police officers here soon. They're usually very good about giving us that information as soon as they can get things squared away, but If you were with us earlier and you saw the scene actually in the parking lot, then you noticed that there were a lot of officers there who were going through and talking to one another and really still in their initial investigation. You see some of the markers now that they're putting down. Those are typical to see when there has been some type of a shooting. A lot of times they'll mark where shell casings are, things like that. And so that's one of the things that you're looking at now. And again, this is at the area over at Old Brownsville Road and SPID there by the Burger King parking lot. Looking at the pictures as you are and seeing this for the first time, and our camera crew is zooming in there, you can see that appears to be a shotgun shell. So again, confirming some of the reports we're hearing about people being shot perhaps there in that area. Again, no confirmation on numbers right now, and no idea on who may have been involved or how many people may have been involved, but it does give you an idea of what's happening there with the police presence. We're trying just to give you a picture of what's going on there after getting reports of the shooting there at the Burger King. And you'll see again, not only officers with the crime scene there in the street, roping that area off so that they can do an adequate investigation, but as we have looked at the parking lot itself, and you see some of the businesses there in the area, and boy, you see lots of police vehicles and earlier lots of police officers there, which kind of gives you a sense of the importance of what we're talking about here, and maybe the magnitude of it, that they are there on the scene. Again, we're working to try to get information from Corpus Christi Police, and they are typically pretty good about passing that along to us as soon as they have something that they can tell us for sure. So right now, anything that we would say, other than the fact that there has obviously been a shooting there, in terms of numbers of people, in terms of how many were involved, in terms of maybe even where the shots came from, would really be pure speculation on our part, and we're not going to do that here. We are, though, going to give you what we know and let you have an accurate picture of what's happening there at the scene. For those of you who may just be joining us, you're looking at the scene at Old Brownsville Road and SPID, where there have been reports of a shooting there at the Burger King restaurant. That's the parking lot that you're looking at where Corpus Christi Police have assembled. You see out in the street where they've put the police tape up, and as we were looking at earlier, they were also marking places where there appeared to be at least one shotgun shell that we see there. There are 3 places that they've marked there. At this point, all of our information is preliminary. We know that there have been shots fired. We know that there has been a search for a car that is suspected of being involved in that. Whether that has been resolved or not, we don't know. Our Bill Churchwell is now at the scene there at the Burger King and is working to try to get some of this substantiated for us and some of this confirmed for us, because of course our main goal here is to give you accurate information and not to engage in speculation or in trying to pass off something that we may have heard that may not be entirely accurate. And so in these situations, it's always best to wait and hear from Corpus Christi Police themselves as they give us an idea of exactly what is happening there and what they know at this point. And as they do that, we share that with you. As I mentioned a moment ago, we do have a camera crew, obviously, but our reporter, Bill Churchwell, is there, and he's going to get as quickly as he can what information is reportable at this point and what we can tell you. And then as soon as he does that, we'll have him on the screen giving us that update.
Get ID in. Oh.
If you're just joining us, this is at SPID in Old Brownsville Road, and we're working to get information from police right now, and this is one of the gentlemen that we would need to talk to, Officer Travis Pace, who's coming over to share, hopefully, what he knows, what has been confirmed, and what police are discovering in their investigation. We're waiting to hear that in just a moment. Our Bill Churchwell is there also talking with police and gathering information. And typically it's Officer Pace who's going to give us that information and let us know exactly what's happening there.
She's a resident defendant. She's on probation, but she lives there. It's a court-ordered facility. She's actually just started working today. We released her to start working today, but she still comes back every day to the facility. We drop her off.
Y'all just trying to do a welfare check and stuff, or
I think they were hoping to be able to pick her up.
yeah, I can't make that determination.
Sure.
I mean, you'd be able to take them. You can't get you in the clients.
Right.
So where y'all park?
Right now.
I would say if you're able to pull around and maybe come up on the back side over here, so that way it's closer and the individuals over there will be able to make that
Got
determination
it.
for you.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right. and
What's
just
your name, officer?
My name's Officer Travis.
Travis.
Okay? You just tell them, just kind of go around, be cognizant of what's going on, and then they'll be able to see what they can do.
And we are taking some time to listen in here and to watch. This is at the Burger King restaurant at Old Brownsville Road in SPID. As we have been telling you here for just a few moments.
Not a lot of information.
Let's listen in.
Because it's still, you can see they're still actively working. Yeah. Let me know when y'all all good to go.
I'm ready. Travis, at this point, what can you tell us?
At about 1:19 p.m., officers were dispatched to 5300 block of Old Brownsville Road in reference to a shooting. When the officers arrived, they discovered multiple male victims that had been shot. 3 of those victims were transported to local hospitals. At this time, there are no deaths associated with the shooting. Right now, guys, I don't have a lot. It is an active investigation. You see everybody's out here still trying to piece together everything that happened, what happened that led up to the shooting. Okay. And right now, nobody's in custody, but the detectives and the investigators are pursuing leads. Okay, and then if anybody knows anything, we ask them to call the police department at 886-2840 or my brain just went blank, or call Crime Stoppers at 888-TIPS.
Travis, did the shooting occur outside or inside?
The shooting occurred, I would say it occurred outside. So as far as we know, nothing happened inside, but realize it's still preliminary information. So they're still investigating. We don't know if the building was hit or what have you. So they're still having to trace down, where the rounds went, what they hit, what other type of property was damaged as a result of the shooting. Okay.
I know you're still in the initial stage, but does this appear to be kind of a drive-by type situation, or was there any kind of?
To deem it as such, I don't have the ability to do that at that time. But I mean, it was outside, and obviously multiple rounds were fired, striking multiple victims.
the victims were outside?
Yes, everything, all the interesting stuff occurred outside. Yes. Okay.
Travis, can you tell whether everybody that you guys may be looking for were here, or you guys are looking outstanding for people outstanding?
Well, we don't have anybody in custody, so we are, yes, looking for people that are outstanding, for suspects that are outstanding, but you know, they're pursuing leads, and once we have, our officers are actively looking. I mean, they're canvassing the area, they're following up on whatever leads, so you're going to see a lot of officers zooming in and out. So as soon if you know, we have any leads to push out to the public for assistance, we're going to kick those out. I don't know if that's going to be coming anytime soon. We'll kick that out on the blotter and stuff to be able to do that as well.
One last thing, notice that you guys have a lot of streets closed. You want to let people know what
Well,
streets-
it's part of the crime scene. It's an active scene, and some of the crime scene is out on the street, so we have to kind of block that out to preserve the integrity of the scene.
Okay, so you guys have it shut down further down. I don't know what the
I couldn't tell you. I know that they were diverting traffic, so they may. I couldn't speak
Just
positively,
traffic alert
but they're
lights.
if you're in the area, be aware, and you may be redirected. I know they have it kind of shut down over here coming onto Old Brownsville from SPID. So if you know, if you're coming that way, just realize you probably need to find another route. But a lot of these businesses around here are going to be impacted because of the investigation, and there's no telling how long it's going to take for it to clear up.
Does this appear to be an isolated incident, or is there?
I'm gonna have to update you on that, okay? I mean, it appears to be, it doesn't appear to be a random act of violence at this time. Okay, so there may be some knowledge of the individuals involved and stuff, but again, part of the investigation, very, very early, but all possibilities are being investigated. And if there is an immediate threat that we recognize, we'll definitely kick that information out to alert the public. Okay? Yeah, I know. I was going to give you permission to speed, but.
Mike Gillespie here at 3 News Now. You just, if you were listening with us there, you just heard from Officer Travis Pace with the Corpus Christi Police Department, who was giving us an update on what's happening there at the Burger King restaurant at Old Brownsville Road and SPID, and that's the scene that you're looking at right now. Now, some of the things that he covered in the update, as we have been reporting since we have been on here, there were shots fired. Officer Pace confirmed for us that 3 people were shot. However, there were no deaths in that. As he noted earlier, he said multiple shots were fired. This did not appear to be just a random act of violence. Officer Pace telling us that as far as he knows and as far as what police have been able to determine this early in the investigation, it appears that where the shots came from and the people who were shot, there appeared to be perhaps some connection there. Of course, police still have more work to do in order to bear that out and in order to make sure that they have just the most accurate information there. But that's what they're telling us at this point. It remains an active investigation, which gives you an idea of why you see so much of the tape across the road there at Old Brownsville Road. He did say that, of course, there's no telling how long this investigation is going to continue, and so the businesses there will be impacted, some of those that you can see. Also, if that's a part of your regular afternoon route that you have to travel, perhaps to pick up kids from school, or you have other business over there, probably best to go ahead and find a different way to get where you need to go, rather than trying to navigate through all of that, because you can just about bet police are going to be there for a while and are not going to move off of that spot until they have better determined what's happening here. We were told that at this point no one is in custody for this shooting, and that police are still looking for leads and looking for the folks who may have been involved in this. They encouraged anyone who may know anything about this shooting to call Crime Stoppers at 888-TIPS. Anyone who may have a lead or something that can help police as they zero in on the suspects behind what happened here. I know they would certainly appreciate that, but right now no one is in custody, and there is an active search for the people involved in this shooting. We were also told from Officer Pace that the shooting happened outside. This was not in the Burger King restaurant, but something that happened outside as the shots were fired. We don't know if that was a drive-by situation or exactly how that worked. We did see earlier that police had marked, and you can even see in that shot some of those small yellow cones there where police had marked some areas they were looking at. We did see an up-close shot of a shotgun shell that was down there, as a matter of fact. And so, again, we would just be guessing here, but that gives you an idea of what may have happened there. But the shooting was outside. We were told that multiple rounds were fired, and in that, 3 people were shot. There were no deaths in that shooting. Now, as to the seriousness of the extent of any injuries, we didn't get an update on that, and that's not something that we're going to speculate on. But again, serious enough that you have drawn this kind of attention from police. They have blocked off the road there, and they are searching for suspects in this particular shooting. Again, this did not appear, according to Officer Pace, to be something that was random. This appeared to be something where there was a connection between perhaps the people who were shot and the shooters. Police are still working to confirm that, but their preliminary information, as they are early in the investigation, is that that's what they're dealing with here.
What time are you looking at doing that?
And that's what they're looking at.
Okay.
Now, we do have a reporter. Our Bill Churchwell is there on the scene, and he has been working through, as best as police will let him there, getting any additional information or just kind of reconfirming what we have heard up to this point and what we have been able to report, and maybe trying to give us a little clearer picture of what is happening there at the Burger King restaurant at Old Brownsville Road in SPID, where police say that in what appeared not to have been a random shooting, 3 people have been shot. There were no deaths in that shooting. We're glad to report, again, that coming directly from Corpus Christi Police. The investigation is early, it is active, and there is no one in custody as they continue to search for the suspects who may have been involved in this shooting. They are, of course, encouraging a couple of things from anybody who may be watching this, or maybe you have family and friends who are in that area or who travel that area regularly and have that as a part of their afternoon destination. First of all, probably best just to steer clear right now. Let police do their job. They do have a part of Old Brownsville Road blocked off there. If there are other ways that you can get to where you're going, whether you need to pick up kids from school or maybe you have business down there, obviously the businesses in this area are going to be impacted because of what happened. This investigation does not look like it'll be over anytime soon, and so for at least this afternoon, it may be best just to let folks know, if you have people in that area, to find another way and to not be caught going over there. We're told that the 3 people who were shot, there were multiple rounds that were fired, all of this happening outside of the Burger King restaurant. They were not inside at the time, and so it appears to have been perhaps targeted, certainly not random in what we're being told by Corpus Christi Police, but there were multiple rounds fired, 3 people shot. At this point, as we were told again by police, there were no deaths in that, and there's no one in custody, and they're continuing their search for the suspects who may have been involved in this shooting. Now, we're zooming in a little bit because we want you to get an idea here from, this is what our camera crew is seeing there, as we see multiple police officers there gathering. Again, they're gathering the facts. You would suspect there are witnesses there still maybe inside of the restaurant that they have been speaking with as they try to piece together the best picture possible as to exactly what happened here at the shooting at Old Brownsville Road at SPID, located at in the parking lot there outside of the Burger King restaurant.
Who's live earlier?
I think our camera may have.
Okay, let me know, because my... Are we live now? Okay. Yeah, just let me know. So, I didn't realize it. Does it count as your live shot? Yeah.
Him in here now if we can, and give him an idea, or get him to give us an idea of what he has been able to find out from police, where 3 people we have been reporting have been shot there. So if we can, let's go ahead and see if, Bill, if you can give us some information there.
Okay, I want to let you know what we are seeing here on the scene right now. It's still a very much active investigation, and you can see the number of police officers who are out here conducting that investigation. But we are off of SPID and Old Brownsville Road, and to give you a better perspective of where we are standing, of course you saw the Burger King there, we have a Whataburger across the street, and the pizza behind us. But take a look, you see traffic is being diverted at this time from SPID, what's getting around to Old Brownsville Road. And if you pan back over this way, Chris, you can see of course, the caution tape in this crime scene area has gotten larger since our crew has been out here this afternoon. You can see the crime tape in the middle of the street with some markers on the ground with possible shell casings. But again, you can see the extent of this investigation that is happening right now. Crime scene is also on the scene. We have some yellow markers on the ground in the parking lot. And we have Senior Officer Travis Pace with us right now. And Travis, you were telling us earlier that there were 3 men who were shot, none of them fatal in injuries, correct?
That is correct, yeah. About 1:19, we got called to the 5300 block of Old Brownsville in reference to a shooting. When our officers arrived, they discovered multiple individuals that had been shot. 3 of them were transported to local hospitals for treatment, and like you said, none of them fatal at this time. Right now it's an active investigation, and our investigators, multiple investigators from multiple different divisions, are investigating the shooting to try to find out exactly what happened, what led up to the shooting.
Any update at this point as far as a possible suspect or suspect?
Right now we don't have any suspects in custody, but they do have leads that they're following up on, and the field officers are actively pursuing that to see what they can get. And right now, we don't believe it to be a random act of violence, that there may be some knowledge between these 2 groups of individuals that led up to this. But if once we investigate and if there is any type of danger to the public, we will, get with the media, and we'll get with our social media to let the public know.
And of course, any description of the suspect or suspects or vehicle description as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Any assistance that we have, and if anybody does have any knowledge of what happened here, we ask them to either call the investigators at 886-2840, or if you want to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at 888-TIPS. But anything that you can give us to help us piece what happened here, what caused this to escalate to this point, would be greatly appreciated.
Of course, officers are on the scene collecting evidence and talking with witnesses as well.
That is correct. We have witnesses that are being interviewed that have been transported to the main station to be interviewed to help us piece together what happened so we can get the right individuals in custody to, have some resolution to this, because it's realistically it's senseless. Stuff like this doesn't need to happen. Doesn't need to happen at a family establishment, where innocent people could, potentially be hurt.
Because it happened about 1:20-ish is when those first reports we got started coming in. This is lunchtime for a lot of folks.
That is correct, and we don't want anybody to be hurt. We don't want anybody to be senselessly hurt. So again, any assistance to help us get the right individuals into custody would be greatly appreciated. We want people also to remain vigilant, and if they see stuff that doesn't seem right, or if they see something that, they need to report, please call the police so we can get here as fast as we can to investigate.
We mentioned this section of Old Brownsville Road is closed because of the police activity. What stretch are we talking about for anyone who might be used to traveling this road?
Right. Old Brownsville was shut down from SPID to Cliff Moss. So it's shut down for the duration of the investigation. How long that is, I don't know. So if you have to come to this area, be mindful of that. And if you have to seek an alternate route, by all means do so.
Senior Officer Travis Pace, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that. Again, you can take a look around and see this is still, like we mentioned before, a very much active investigation. Police could be here for several more hours, so keep that in mind as Senior Officer Travis Pace mentioned that this road will be blocked for some time as they investigate. Reporting live, I'm Bill Churchwell. Now back to you.
All right, our Bill Churchwell reporting for us there at Old Brownsville Road in SPID, where there has been, as he mentioned, and as police have told us, a shooting. 3 people shot in the Burger King parking lot there. Multiple shots fired. They are continuing to search for suspects. At this point, no one is in custody, but again, this is early in the investigation, and we'll continue to stay with this. We hope that you'll join us later today on 3 News at 5 and 6 as we bring you all of the latest details and what has happened here. And of course, if there's anything other than that is relevant to report, we'll try to jump back on here before then. But we do hope to see you on our social media sites and, of course, later today on 3 News.